Game 4 beginning with the draft. The first phase bans. What's the new change? Elder Titan gets panned out, and guess what slips through? It's the IO OG. Immediately snap it up.
You're just dying. Like, you're just dying. And I think it's not very complicated to play for. Like, they don't really care how he does in lane. Like, they want to do fine. But then he's just farming jungle. Like, that's all he does. And he has a very, like, he looks at a fight drive. He's like, if I want to be there, I click the spell and I'm there. If I don't want to be there, I'm just going to continue to farm.
It's like having an alchemist combined with a specter in one hero.
A little bit. Like, he doesn't farm that fast, but he farms, like, he doesn't farm that much slower than anyone else. And he has insane timings.
His timings are just like better for the gold he gets than most other characters. His 15 ags is like,
Yeah, it's
probably the best 15 timing I think in the game right now.
Probably.
Now, before talking about our game, it was like they first pick ET, right? And I'm like, oh shit. The Wisp is in the pool. I'm like, oh yeah, they're gonna pick Wisp. And like everything, like I thought about, like everything is look weak. Like everything is looking weak. And then like, yeah, but they take a deep breath, you just go with whatever, and like we can do this.
And Liquid take a breath, and they go for the Chen, which did bring them success in their first game, and they take the Omni Knight, which OG had picked earlier.
I'm a little surprised they didn't go for AA. I believe it's been banned out every gamer, because like
because the Alchemist AA.
Yeah, it's Alchemist. It's good versus pretty good versus Shen, pretty good versus Omni Knight. I don't think OG will pick it here though. It's kind of awkward playing with this.
We don't really have stuns either.
Yeah. So I'm hoping Liquid have like, you know, their last pick, right? So they have like a lot of avenues opened up.
I'm a little scared right now of this Wisp because
only a little.
Yeah. Okay, so commonly...
Wait, of this Wisp or for this Wisp?
Oh,
okay.
Because commonly you want like a hero that gets on top of this Wisp, right? Especially that 15 timing. He's scariest when his balls are max range.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's able to like chase you, and then you get slowed. So if you get a little closer, he pulls him in a little, and he stays at this like max range basically. Neither of those heroes are ultimate heroes, right?
Right.
The Omni can supplement like one if you have like an ambush. Like he can go in with a grace, and that's decent. But these two are more like you want to fight. They want you to fight into them, right? They want you to find this Chen and this Omni for the long field. And I think that's playing the Wisp's game right now.
This actually reminds me a bit. Liquid plays Secret, right?
Yeah.
And I believe Secret picked Wisp one of the games.
Yes.
They did.
And it was one of those, like, and Liquid had a similar like thing going on there with like a lot of heal and like they would push down buildings, and they just didn't let Secret get to their timings. Like they already had a Rax before Wisp was level 15.
Wasn't that was that the Meepo game though?
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
it was the Meepo
So
game.
Meepo is banned out.
Meepo's already gone, yeah. So now I'm hoping, that's what I'm like, I'm hoping they have something, because you need this extreme, like, it just kills everything that's in front of it. So maybe a Leshrac or something like that? Well, Lesh is gone, so...
Yeah, OG's been
Yeah.
consistently banning that.
Yeah, because I don't want them to end up with the life stealers.
Yeah.
I don't...
Other teams had tried the life stealer against the IO and it did not work.
Yeah.
And it's too slow, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you get this managed radiance timing and you're still weaker than the Wisp.
Yeah. And they also have to... Okay, there's a tiny pick, but Darius has played it now, Thompson has played it, so they'll probably, like, hold on a bit. They'll see who plays it later. Because we played against the Bristleback mid with Ion, and that was spooky. That was frightening.
The other ones they played are Gyro mid,
Yeah.
Troll mid, and Winner mid. So a bunch of these like attack speed or attack targets, I guess steroids kind of thing.
So in this Secret versus Liquid game that Team Secret had picked the IO, Liquid went for a Chen, a Tidehunter, an Earth Spirit, a Leshrac, and a Meepo.
Yeah.
So the Meepo and Leshrac are banned out. Tidehunter's still available, but we're not enthusiastic about that.
So-
But Bristleback gets selected instead.
This was Liquid versus, or no, this was Secret versus
Secret
Pichu,
versus-
right? But they picked Omni Bristle versus the Alp.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they ran this Omni Bristle and they won the game in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that's what they're going for. I mean, I'm guessing, but I think they kind of stole it a bit from OG now too, with this one. Limited with their options.
OG had a Wisp, right, with it though? It was like Omni Bristle Wisp.
Yes.
That was way scary, but they have a Chen that kind of like
Yeah.
take place of the Wisp.
So just likely a no-tail of that.
Yeah, because I feel like how the drafts are setting up, like they could actually have a chance here to get a draft that they can end this game quickly.
What about a 3 Abba?
Yeah.
You laid it against the Omni Knight?
I mean, I'm guessing that's like something like that. I haven't really seen. I know that RNG played a lot of Abaddon.
Some of the Chinese teams play it.
Yeah. I didn't look at a lot of reviews though. I'm not really sure how strong is in lane or what his timers
They
are.
go like 0-2-1. They skip Mistcoil early, and then they go early like Vlad Solar Crest and just kind of buffy people.
Yeah, sometimes they'll just straight up take Curse at 1 and just harass.
Yeah, just hit people.
Yeah.
So they picked Liquid pick Earth Spirit, right? Last time they were against Wisp,
Right.
Secret game.
Yeah.
So I think they're kind of like confident right, with what happened.
I think they're feeling pretty good right now.
But they're still lacking the most important thing in that draft, in my opinion, which was the Leshrac and the Meepo. These are heroes that take structures during the downtime period, which Bristleback can kind of achieve that, but needs some levels and some farm. He's definitely much slower than a Meepo or a Leshrac.
Yeah. So the last pick for Liquid is interesting. But I think on the other hand, like they'll see OG's picks now and Tinderstone.
Tinderstone. So a hero that can deal with Bristleback, obviously, if you have reactive armor, then you're not too concerned about Quill Spray being spammed on you.
Yeah, I mean for OG it's good that they picked this because they need to buy time when Liquid are running down lanes. Like they can cut waves, spam out creep waves, so they need something like that.
How does this Wisp scale to like 30, 35, 40 minutes? Like, you think there's OG
Games
might
never go late enough.
Yeah,
for sure.
no, I have a feeling like if Liquid don't have like a substantial advantage by spinning 15 with Axe, I think this game is going to be really hard for them. It's just too much consistent damage without them being able to go on. Like they have an Abaddon is shielding this Wisp, right?
Yeah,
Like,
killing
if it gets to that point, then Liquid are not ahead. I think this. We still have one more pick. Like maybe they'll pull something out. But how it's looking right now, like they need to get an advantage within the like first 25 minutes.
So even if the game's even at like 25 minutes, you think they'll lose, right?
Yeah, I feel OG should be
What a great hero Wisp is these days.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be fair, this is nothing new. IO being first phase picked is a very common thing in Dota 2 history. It's just
True that.
not in this role. Exactly.
No, exactly. No. That's the funny part. You're just first picking. Everyone knows it's your carry. It's carry Wisp right there.
I mean, I don't think it's had this high of a win rate, right? I think it has like maybe one loss.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember like back. I think it was TI when it was released, like TI 3, I guess. Then I'm pretty sure the win rate was insane.
The first TI that he showed up was pretty insane. Even though it was very Western biased, very few Chinese teams were doing it. I think it was just eHome at the time with their tinies and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
that was like TI 2, I think. And they won every game they played.
That's right.
Really? Yeah.
But other teams were still sleeping on it. Every single. That's one of the reasons why I considered Liquid. I had mentioned this on an earlier draft panel. Earlier in the season, Liquid weren't looking too great, and it's because IO wasn't in captain's mode.
Yeah.
Because you had a free ban against Liquid every single time.
Yeah.
So now it's a carry IO, which it's a brave new world.
No, the funny part about the carry IO is it's not some high skill cap. It's nothing like that. It's
pretty straightforward.
It's very straightforward. It's
You go Bassi,
Yeah.
you buy your Helmet Dominator,
Yeah.
you buy Ags, you buy Heart.
Win the game.
And once you have Heart, you can ditch your Hadouken and tether your mid laner
Yeah.
or your off laner.
Which, that's a good question. So do you think OG are going to look for someone to enable with their IO, like how they did the Bristleback in the past, or is the dude self-sufficient enough that if you have like the Tiny and the Timbersaw, that's the only partner you need?
Yeah, I'm a little curious how they're thinking about the lanes here. I don't think Thompson plays Timbersaw.
I haven't seen it before.
So-
it may have happened.
I'm guessing this is an off-lane Timbersaw.
OG's turn.
Do you think there's any world where this Wisp is not a carry?
Now there might be, actually.
I think it's a mid gyro.
Okay.
Off lane or side lane Timber versus this Bristleback.
Yeah.
And then a 4 Tiny, a 5 Abba.
Yeah,
carry
yeah,
Wisp.
One Nana. Okay.
That sounds about what they would do. No, because I think Wisp is still viable as a 4 with Gyro. Because that lane, if you play that right, it's really strong.
10 seconds.
Or
remaining.
you can just let both of them be cores,
Yeah.
and then it's really, really strong.
Then it gets
5
extra.
seconds remaining.
Extra spice.
So Liquid needs a carrier or a mid, depending on what they want this Bristle to do.
OG is expecting it to be a mid because they banned out the Shadow Fiend.
So I think the Bristle gyro lane is actually decent for the Bristle.
Okay.
It's not going to be a Templar assassin, but we'll go to another Weehawk Classic. It could be the Wind Ranger.
I like the idea of the hero better. I don't know how good it is this game. I'm not sure. I actually don't think it's that good. But like the idea is correct. Like you have spells that you can use on them.
It has a lot of damage that they can actually kill the Wisp at the start, right? Even through shield, I think. Wisp is killable if the winner has like, MKB, BKB.
Right.
You can't really stop him. Wisp
obviously-
doesn't really go MKB either for the evasion, so.
It's rare, but I guess also in a traditional sense, like IO being tethered to another unit, gives potential shackle targets, stuff like that. But this is the last potential game for Team Liquid. Will they be able to stay in this grand final bracket? Maybe Purge can give a little bit more explanation as we pass to him with the last word.
If you guys are just getting here, IO is the carry that has been dominating the tournament, at least one of them, and Liquid gets a chance to see if they can break it, but the downside is that they don't get the same heroes that they were able to use earlier to defeat it, so it's going to be a lot harder to beat it. So what they ended up doing instead is trying to abuse Chen. One of the benefits of Chen is that his aura increases the healing that any of his nearby allies or creeps give, and they're pairing that with another hero that can heal, Omni Knight. So those two guys can heal and buff up their strong tanky hero Bristleback and make him pretty close to unkillable. But on the other side, what OG's playing around with is also pretty strong. They've got IO, they've got the Tiny, they've got Abaddon who can also buff up, but most importantly they have Timbersaw. And Timber's a hero that has some flexibility in how effective he is, but most importantly his first skill will reduce the strength or primary stat, and there's a lot of strength heroes over on the Liquid side, so it's very possible that Timber can run away with this game if he has a good match. Keep an eye on him. Without further ado, Game 4 of the TI Grand Finals. Let's start at the casters.
Thank you, Purge. Game 4. OG up at the moment in this best of 5, 2-1 against Liquid. Their last 2 games, some of the most dominant performances we've seen from them from the entire tournament. In this game 4, Liquid, they have had the chance to switch it up. We're not seeing the TA. We are going to be going back to the Weehawk Wind Ranger. It is something a little different. It's something we know he's good at, but is it good enough to beat the OG IO, Giannis?
They've definitely looked to go for something that's more early game centric. The last 2 drafts, they went for the Tidehunter, the TA, and the Jug, or Tidehunter, TA, and Lifestealer. Very slow paced draft. This time, they get their Chen. They've been very good with the Chen, as we saw them also playing it earlier on today. They're very good at playing aggressive and making moves around the map, either with GH playing a Tusk or GH playing Urspray. I feel like I always see them having one of these 2 combos with that Chen to make those moves around. And Bristleback too. This is a very early paced hero, as we see the Goo as well as the Spray get picked up at 1 and 2, and you are pretty much the strongest hero on the map when you have that. And we see them immediately set up with an aggro tri-lane. They have a Headdress on Kurogi for that extra health regen, and they really want to put the pressure to shut down Ana on the IO.
Let's see if they can do it. We saw some scary stats on the Ana IO loading into this game. He is 19-1 in the last 20 games he's played. And of course, here at TI, 5-0. No one has been able to beat him. I'm going to have to see if they can do it in their last chance here.
No, this is the Goo that we're talking about, that really strong level 1. But they're going to actually go to dive, though. He has a shield available, and they actually can. Doesn't have a salve on himself this time around, though, like he did in the last 2 games. And also, I believe with the carry IO, not every single time, but they did have an Elder Titan with it most of the times. That's where I feel like it helps a lot when you're playing into aggro lanes, because you cannot aggro Trilane into an Elder Titan most of the time. So this time it's going to be a Batten who's not nearly as strong as that ET.
Oh, we'll see Liquid with that start. Ever make sure that the creep wave meets underneath the tower so they can get them a equilibrium in their favor. Very interesting to watch some of these other lanes. See how Weehaw can get off to a start against the Thompson mid Gyro. He should have a decent shot here, right, in this 1v1.
Yeah, he should be able to. He has higher base damage base. The thing about Gyrocopter is you have this godly animation. One of the best animations in the game that's absolutely instant on range, and you have missiles, and you have a Tiny who's going to constantly throwing Weehaw back into the tower.
That's a lot of ants there, and it all looks to add up. They're dragging back, he's got the point in the win run, looking for the point blocks. Jerax not being able to quite get it entirely, but still able to get a good amount of damage done. Weehaw in mid.
As we go for that next toss back, and Jerax is going to go for it again.
Here's Jerax going deep behind the tower, seeing if he has the control. Up he goes with the toss. Thompson closing in, win runs back online. As Weehaw can hold his distance, but OG already getting incredibly aggressive in this middle lane.
It's the way they like to play with Jerax on the Tiny. Just run around, shut down the mid laner. Doesn't matter what hero it is, you're going to be able to just throw him every single time he walks up for a toss. Weehaw gets his full salvo.
I'm certainly seeing though down bottom this tri-lane, it is able to bring these heroes down pretty low. Obviously the question is if they can push them over the edge and get the kills. But the aggression certainly is there. Once the level 2s come out for the 3 members of Liquid, we'll see that pressure amped up even more. Jackson come down. Outside this 2 lines for a tri-lane from OG is Corona wants to play it by a 1 second. Misfire from Hotel gets the kill. Now it's going to be a look. The Spirit of GX trying to get on top of him, but a good point was from Hotel and a shield handed over to Ana. Liquid cannot chase any further.
Just eyes on Jerax, right? Jerax is going to just move lane to lane to lane, looking to just punish the aggressive tri-lane of Liquid. And they can't really respond too well. Chan is not really a hero that wants to be moving around TPing at all. It's GH who has to respond to any types of ganks that Jerax does, and it doesn't feel nearly as good as an Earthspirit. It's kind of limited on mana.
So it sort of talks about the mid, talks about the bottom, this top lane. 1v1, Seb versus Mind Control. The Timber versus the Omni. What do we expect in this matchup?
I haven't gotten to see this work too often, but I think that they're both going to just go with the farm. I think Seb might actually go to bully Mind Control a bit, just because you don't have to worry too much about your regen. While Mind Control, you have to worry about your mana sometimes. But I think they're both going to just end up trading farm and pulling creep waves and whatnot like that, so should be relatively easy.
Definitely seeing this pressure down bottom continues to be very hard back of the farm with the rolling onto Notel Liquid. Take one out of the lane. Ana only being able to get 4 CS so far in this bottom lane. Already Liquid's change up in draft and different approach. It's looking so much better here in the first 3 minutes of game 4.
Oh, for sure. 16 and 11 on Miracle, right? He's getting all of these free last 50 nice.
They are running this bottom lane perfectly. Keeping this tri-lane advantage.
Top is just manipulation of creep waves, because I think Mind Control's starting to realize that if he stays toe-to-toe versus Timber, he's going to have some problems, so he's time to wait. Jerax is running over toward the area. He's only level 1 though, so still not having that stun available for the Tiny just yet to go for those toss back into the tower and stun plays. And it looks like they'll be constantly burning the mana of Notail with this Satyr Mind Stealer that is keeping him very low on mana.
Liquid obviously interested to keep the pressure on, and then they have to find objectives with it. And as the IO will have that comeback mechanic, so what he wants once he hits the level 4, going for jungle using the Spirit to farm those neutrals. So they've got to make as much as they can happen in this favourable lane setup that Liquid have. Another commitment on towards Ana, separating from Notel. The other temper himself back across, so they can beat down through this overcharge. Notel pops the stick charges, and Spirits around. So that's towards Miracle, but Mango's Pops still has the mana to fight with. Another shield will hold the ball.
It really is a pretty fun lane though coming out from OG, right? He's like, oh, I just heal with IO, and IO heals me. So they're going to be able to always do that, because move all those glue stacks off with the shield as well. It's actually a really clever lane coming out. And he's even maxing, or putting multiple points inside that Mismile for the health efficiency. He Mismiles the IO and heals himself for even more because of that.
Well, then everyone's come on. And OG, they want to try and tackle this 3-on-3. Intelligent is better to draw attention away. The Avalanche is out onto Miracle. Jerax tries to chase the other, but Liquid will be able to grab both of them. Taking the bouncy runes away. Only the one going the way of OG up top. Liquid continuing to look like this different approach to the lanes is certainly the answer they've been looking for.
They're not killing them though. They only killed Noto once because of how many stick charges they're getting fed down here. Bristleback just constantly spamming the quill, spamming the goo. Everyone's sitting at like 10 stick charges every time they try to make an aggressive move. Now Miracle's up a bit far here.
Jerax. It's going to be unable to Miracle cannot make the smooth run out towards the top and never shields out the Notel. He may be low, but he's pulled it safe. Jerax with the toss-up. GH pops the stick charges. He's trying to escape Notel, keeping on top of it. That Aphonic shield's going to pop soon. It may not even need to. GH is running. One more right click will get spotted out. That'll do it. The shield pops to get the kill. And it does more. Liquid getting the trade.
Nice. And he actually did not pop his magic wand there. A bit too much damage coming in. I think the Alpha Wolf and the right click from the Chen caught him off guard how much it actually was there. But mid is a big one. These rotations from Jerax from earlier, Thompson has over a full level advantage onto Weehaw. He's struggling 34-13 to the 19-4. This animation and just getting that extra break pad early is really coming into play. And
For GH, but a great toss from Jerax keeps Anna on top of the Earth Spirit. Spirits are out though. So the damage looks like it may not be there unless they can keep the vision, and they can. Tossed in, stick charge pop though. GH has got Miracle by his side. They won't be able to die for him, and Liquid keep them all alive.
They've done a good job of making sure that early farm. Thompson though getting aggressive top onto mind control.
Radiant
About the they popped the shrine for Savannah. What a timber, but control will be fine. Liquid being forced to use their bottom shrine too, because the one thing that they're doing, they were putting pressure on it, they were getting good farm, but the sustain that's actually coming out from this bottom lane is just too much for them a bit here. As Ana is starting to get this farm built up after those 20 last hits.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Mid lane seems to be the focus for Liquid. They've left Miracle alone. They're trying to collapse in onto Thompson. They smashes it. Liquid making these moves around Kuro and his army. Getting the pressure on, catching out Thompson mid. Well, they keep this tempo up. They're starting to really show that they have within them what OG's been bringing in the first 7 minutes of the last 2 games. They can match this tempo.
And look at Miracle, but down bottom, even pulling away these 2 heroes. Even though they do have all their one charges built up, that's up to 17 as well.
But Liquid, they can get themselves out of range of it.
They have so much damage in the mid lane right now. Liquid, if Weehaw rushing that Javelin build, he's able to actually punch back onto Thompson pretty hard there every time he does move it forward for a kill. Gives a lot of time to Seb though, as they made that 4-man rotation earlier. Now he's only up to level 8. He's got the max reactive armor.
Same to be said though for Mind Control. We're seeing pretty much continuation of an even farm between these offlaners.
Yep.
They're both getting exactly the same amount out of this top half of the map. So far, no one else has been interested in coming over and getting involved. Now, though, that will change. GH and Kuroki, they're looking towards Seb. Going to bring in Weehaw as well. Weehaw, the focus fire, and they've got the control. There's the roll with the stun. Shackle shot follow from Weehaw. Along with the power shot, won't do it. Liquid making the maneuvers to put Seb's happy little time on that top lane to an end.
Great use of the Divine Favor. TPP. So he not be able to move around the map if he has to respond to anything else. Very nice aggressive move, and that's the Javelin coming into play. Since it's magical damage, it's 100 bonus magical damage when you use that focus fire versus Timber. Who cares if he has 25 reactive armor stacks? Pressure on the tower too. Now 700 HP right now.
Seb's going to come back in, make sure that's out.
Another Divine Favor to bring into the mid-ranger.
I feel like it's a hard kill without that damage that Weehaw offers.
Feels like an impossible kill without Weehaw.
The 3 of them can sort of sit aside and watch as Seb farms the wave under the tower.
Yeah.
See what their intentions are with this move. 10-minute runes are going to come up. See if Liquid can keep a favorable hold of them this time. Mid lane's going to be the focus. TP's coming immediately. Shackle off actually before the missile connects. He's able to turn right click into Jarex. He's tanking the tower to Jarex. Lines to the power. He's not going to be able to find it. Doesn't get the angle, and Jarex, he can continue to walk away. Liquid are chasing, and the power shot will be available in a second. Can Weehaw hit it? He's going to try. Not going to find it. Jarex, he's got the position to TP out behind the trees, and will make it back to safety. But Weehaw does flip.
They waste so much of their time there, and even a TP to protect Weehaw. What does that mean? That's just the space. This is what OG wants to do, right? Allowed Ana to catch back up after he had a little bit of a rough laning start and get the Dominator, and the Dominator is finished now at this 10-minute mark. So that is where you really start to get enabled quite a lot of the IO to make their moves around the map. But Liquid, they're trying to keep the pressure going. Don't let OG get away with that greed that they're trying to pull off right now. Try to get some tower damage. Every single time the tower is going to start getting pressure, though, you'll see this rotation by Seb. He wants to make sure they don't actually get any of these towers too early. He doesn't have many reactive stacks built up just yet.
Mid lane Topson. You see the dive in from Weehaw. Weehaw tried to close in for the kill, but he didn't have the damage to bring Topson down. Topson was able to just drop the combos. Weehaw, he got in close range for that attempt.
You got to be careful as well. Ana, he's jungling in the area, so he can just easily tether up. I don't know if you guys did the overcharge there and catch at the end of it, but he can easily tether it and he can get a little bit of extra HP regen that comes into play.
Looking for Jarex.
Jarex again.
Committing with the magnetized. TPs will now start to come into play. Thompson's here. Jarex still alive. They're trying their best to hunt him down through the trees. He'll be able to toss back the Hellbear Smasher. Rocket's dropped to keep the magnetized going. They'll get the kill on Jarex. See if they can find anything in return. OG Thompson is on top of Kuroki. GH, we are joining the game. They're surrounding Thompson with a divine favor. Bring it. We are in Liquid. They're going to be able to get both of them. Kuroki making these moves across the map, bringing in the team when required. And Kuro, he 3, 1, and 4. Every single one of these 7 kills has been down to Kuro and his map movements.
And his aggressive plays. And they're not expecting these recalls. They're not expecting these divine favors at all. Every single time he's been able to set it up. And he's almost got a mech finish up on this Chen so early on. It's going to be a lot of burst heal. And like the draft panel mentioned, you look at Liquid's draft, and they're really trying to set the tempo. They're trying to be aggressive, get early towers down with this Chen, with this Bristleback, and try to get an early roast and get that big advantage to take advantage of Jerry Io. You have to try to take advantage of it somehow.
They're waiting on the high ground and immediately burst through the Aphotic Shield. Notel is trying to run. The Smashers after him. Notel's got the backup of Ana. Mind Control's going to head in. Liquid then diving on forward. GH will be kept safe by the Heavenly Grace. Kuro heads over the tip line. The tower will be surrounded. The 4 of them take down Kuro, put an end to his reign across the map. As OG responding in their numbers now in that middle lane. They won't let Liquid get away with this any longer.
They still, OG has a very strong way to fight, even in the early game. Even if they do have a greedy IO pick, it's what it provides you, especially when you have a Gyro. Gyro is all about that early fight. It's the same thing with Tiny. And even Timbersaw, but Seb right now, we know he doesn't really want to show up except for the tower defenses. And he's also going to be matching that Chen who's going to be an early back. It's actually going to be a Mech Timbersaw since they have IO. So this amount of sustain that could come out from OG pretty soon is going to be pretty hard to deal with this. Seb, there's the jump forward for GH.
It goes deep. We are going to turn with a focus price. Seb, of course, has got the max reactive armor. Thanks to that, Shackle won't lag. Seb, continue to back off. James out. Back over the river. He's fine. Liquid will try and turn their attention towards Thompson, but with Notel by his side, they cannot dive up to the high ground. Seb holding them back. 5
Liquid heroes in the mid lane. Trying to brawl again at the same time as last game. It's 13 minutes in, and there's 9 heroes positioned around this area. They want to go for no-tail, but he's got ulti.
Miracle's going to continue to chase this under the Tinter, and they will get it. Seb is trying to turn. The missile is out onto Kuro. Does Seb have the burst? Not quite. Magnetizes out. Seb has to retreat. Shackle does latch Liquid. They've got the lockdown. They've got the roll forward. The kickback. They'll crush it. Liquid. They're diving again. They've got a bit of a flavor of how OG was playing his last 2 games, and they said we can do it too. Thompson forced the cooldown. They won't go too crazy. They'll let him live. They don't want to dive up towards the tier 3. They know TPs are coming in.
They have to make sure they're hitting the tower, because the side lanes are being split pushed. Ana as well as Jarex are actually pressuring these other 2 towers. They're not even going to get this one here. It's down to its deny range. OG might be able to deny that mid tower if they choose to do so. Liquid with an overzealous dive there, not losing anybody, but the side lanes giving a lot to that Tiny as well as that IO. And we know this is the timing. It's all about just waiting for Io to get not only Aghanims, but get that level 15 talent. That's what OG wants.
He's diving in. Onto Kuro with the flak as well, and the god will not keep Chen alive today.
GH will not get TP'd out. Jarex actually TP's in and gets the toss off at the exact timing.
And OG's actually not done, as they are still hunting for action. Miracle the focus. Thompson's got a DD. A power shot does come out. Lands on Thompson.
A bit too aggressive there, but Thompson will throw down the call down just to clear the
The Shackle actually reaches across the trees, but no tail. He's there with the shield. Thompson goes for the TP out. The focus fired down. The damage is not enough.
Right.
Thompson save. A spray on the way out. Thompson will escape. Liquid, it's 9-6 in their favor, but the net worth difference, it's pretty much even. As you say, sure, Liquid, they are bringing the aggression, finding the kills, but space is being given to those important members of OG.
Yeah, especially Ana. Halfway to that Aghanims already. Level 11 finished up. He's got the Spirits applied slow, so he can fight as soon as he has that Aghanims, of course, with the talent, but the big one is that 15, that extra Spirit Hero damage that does come out. But yeah, look at this immediately. Seb now positioned up top. He wants to push the top tower as soon as Liquid is positioned in mid. And Jarek's already looking to set up down toward the bottom lane. Liquid have to just get these towers. Have to get some type of map advantage here.
Once Ana has the Aghanims, things are going to start getting very tricky for Liquid when they turn up like this.
Yeah.
The Spirits will be out.
Yeah, and they have Bristle. That's a good thing, right? Bristle can be good versus the Io. If you can get on top of him, the goo. You don't have the highest armor traditionally on the Io, but he's versus an actual counter. Timbersaw, very good versus Bristle back at all stages.
Are fortified.
It's just that farm game, OG.
They've got mind control. Looking towards Seb up top, but it's hard really for these heroes without the shackle shot or GH getting a beautiful angle. It's very hard for them to kill Seb.
It's very hard for them to kill pretty much anybody if they don't have Weehawk. If they can catch some of the supports and the running around by themselves, they can maybe pick them off, but they really need Weehawk for the damage. The rest of them do not really provide that at this point in the game versus what they're against. Magnetize can be good, but there's a lot of ways that they can deal with it. Not only with the tankiness of how they are, but also there's an advantage and we just remove it a lot of the times.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Seb, he could just get away with this, pushing this wave into the tier 2 every single time, knowing that sure, if Liquid do come for him, it's going to be so many of their resources that it's probably going to be worth it for OG to have Seb positioned that aggressively and for him to draw that much attention towards him. Thompson's getting space, Ana's getting space.
Look at that build by Thompson. Diffusal Gyrocopter.
Wait, what?
Diffusal? Gyrocopter, I just said it.
Tourette's Diffusal Gyrocopter. Fancy that, Thompson.
So
doing something that I don't think I've ever seen this.
Kind of. I mean, it's interesting because it's going to provide a lot of mana burn, which is going to be annoying for
Okay.
It gives you a lot of agility, and it gives you ways to run around and chase heroes down, I guess.
It's Liquid.
Different.
They've got the kill swap, getting mobile again.
They can transition this into a Roche. DD rune on the Bristleback, they've got Pipe. Yeah, they can easily do this one with the Medallion as well. However, OG, they know what's going on. They can look to contest this as well as, do they have the Aghanims finished up? It's almost there for Ana. And they're pinging it. They seem, now they're aware of it, but it looks like it's almost too low for them to contest with all this minus armor. And Liquid will get away with this one.
And let's see what they can do with it. Aegis, Pipe, they have those early tools to start making moves. Start looking towards some of these tier 2 towers.
Ags is complete now on the IO. So Ags IO finished, and we're about to hit 20 minutes. So I'm assuming that OG's gonna buy the tome, give it to that IO so he gets the extra spirit damage. Liquid, they gotta group up and try to get something big here. They gotta catch out these backlines heroes. They really have to get on top of the IO with a nice shackle shot for We Got to focus firing. They have to control and stun the IO.
Hunting for Ana. I won't quite find, but no, definitely, yeah, thinking about it, this Diffusal Blade, I see what you mean. It does make sense, right? There is, you look at what Miracle and Mind Control in particular.
They're completely dependent on their mana.
And they're dependent on the fights being drawn out, right?
Yeah.
They revel in situations where the fight continues. And sure, they can't kill them quickly necessarily, OG, but Thompson, he can burn, he's going to take their mana away, and they're going to be essentially sort of these useless, tanky targets on the front that OG can then ignore and look for the more volatile kills.
And he's acting as this like super frontliner. And Bristleback is a hero that if you don't have mana, you don't have damage. So if he's just going to be burning the Bristle, I can see it. You know, I can see it. And he's super farmed, and look how tanky he is. 2,000 HP on the Gyro. There's going to be an MKB finish now for Weehaw, so his damage is going to be very high as Seb's getting slowed down. He's got greaves available, but he's going to burst.
And they're bringing him low. He's got the shield. Now they'll be able to turn. Cooldowns drop down by Thompson. And here we have it. Miracle. His mana's gone. He's able to put the stick, get it a fair bit of it back, and he's able to head back in, pushing OG back behind the racks. They're getting a good amount of damage onto this tier 3 tower. Liquid, they push on.
On Io. That Spirit Hero damage is there now. Ana going to join the fray finally.
There we have it. Miracle's mana. It's pretty much entirely gone. Why Thompson's supposed to look for GH. Oh, he can't get out. There's no mana. GH. He's dead. And now OG. They have that numbers advantage for this defense. They'll try and change the ball. Thompson. The rocket barrage brings Miracle down. Then the Shackle turn around. They're looking for Jarret. Jarrett's backing away. Thompson focusing Miracle. Miracle's still out of mana because of this diffusion. Jarret. He's able to come with the GA is out. We all will fall though. The magic damage is there for Thompson. Miracle's trying to run. Another stick charge pop, but Jarret can shut him off. In fact, Jarret, he's ready to try and look for more potentially. There's only the once. Thompson, he's on top of Karai. Another cooldown there. The toss back into the combo. Jarret,
oh my God.
They're all getting picked apart as mind control falls. Miracle is surrounded.
And they're all
able to get this as well. OG, they will hold.
And they're even taunting. They toss him to the dragon. Holy crap. Thompson, the defusal is absolutely working for all their mana.
But I don't think anyone would have expected to see Gyro, the deciding game. The defusal blade Jarret, it is perfect for this point of the match.
He just did an insane amount of damage, front lines the entire time, and then Ana just has free reign to get all that Spirit Hero damage, and it's back completely the other way, and it feels like the control is just gone for Liquid.
What do you do? When your mana's gone, what do you do?
Oh my god. OG starting to take over the game completely here.
Showing new ways to play the game at this incredibly late moment in the tournament.
And now Thompson has an Aghanim's as well, so not only is his regular hits going to be proccing that... yeah, he's going to be burning a lot of mana.
And then just moving into the base now, OG. They're putting in, Flagstar supports Liquid back, they'll focus Miracle. Miracle, he'll get himself out and away, the missile is out, the tripod, the heals to save him, but Miracle's dead. Jarret's in with the combo, they'll bring down GH. GH has buyback, he'll buy back immediately. Weeha's going to be back up in 5. Fortification is popped, but OG, they're not going away.
They're too healthy. They still have Greaves available for Seb as well this whole time. They're pretty, No-Tail's kind of low, but once they pop those Greaves, everyone's going to be topped off.
A tier 3's going down, 22 minutes again, and in a match where it looked like Liquid had the pace to maybe bring something different, but we're back to the same place that we were in Game 2 and Game 3.
There's no stones for GH. He can't contribute anything. There's no magnetized either. They're just taking this rack.
It's gone. They cannot get close to hold this. As OG, we'll see what the plan is next. They'll back off.
They're happy with that. Why not? They can back up, clean up shrines, but I think if Liquid chases out, OG can definitely just turn to look for the fight. They have no cooldowns that they're waiting on. Everything is available for them, and they're just so farmed right now at this point in the game that Liquid, they're walking out together, but like I was mentioning before, there's one stone on GH, and that is it. So his team fight potential, and he's pretty much the only team fighter on the side of Liquid right now. It's just not there.
And OG's ready to go back. And again, Jarret's in with the wrap around the combo down onto mind control. The cooldown's there. Liquid has to back off. Again, mind control's mana pretty much got. He's able to pop the stick, get the GA off at least. Can they fight for the duration of it? Though they're getting towards Seb. Heals a pop. Sends back pretty much up to 4. Jarret's in with another combo onto We are stunned up. We are dead. Miracle's the new focus. The missile followed through. OG pushing Liquid back to the base. Mind control out about it. Thompson with his diffuser blade, picking them apart. Raw form for GH for Seb. Cuts him down. Double kill. They're pushing on OG. Liquid getting forced back to the base. And Liquid have nothing. They have nothing to offer.
They're just giving. Look at this. They're driving Fountain and TI finals. They
question.
level.
No question. They are so far ahead of anybody else that plays this game for a living. Game 2, 3, and 4 were absolutely ridiculous. The showing was magical from OG.
They just seem to know exactly what to do with whatever draft they're giving. It doesn't matter. They have so many different drafts, so many different play styles. They can execute all of them. Liquid seemed like they stood no chance after that first
And
game.
they've
components of vape is basically the oil, the juice, the flavor.
Kala mo di ko i-upload to. Good luck sa'yo.
Hello po, mama.
Okay.
And that will cause combustion.
Again?
And alam mo ba ang components ng vape?
Yes.
What are those?
The components of vape is basically the oil, the juice, the flavorings.
Oh, then you know the components of the juice.
The components of juice is basically the oil and the flavoring.
There are other chemicals from there.
Other chemicals, we can say that we can input
Exactly.
What are those
nicotine,
chemicals?
nicotine,
Yes,
and then that is it.
Exactly.
VG.
Ikaw, Sukol. Ito
VG
po
and then
ang
EG.
lalaking nakikipaglaban
And then do you know
dahil
the
sa
chemical
nagbe-vape siya sa
formula?
loob ng FX.
What's the chemical
Gusto niya
formula?
ipaglaban na tama siya. Okay. Ipasikatin natin tong mokong na to.
And then
Sige.
when something bounds with oxygen, it
Pakinggan
will
natin ang
combust.
paliwanag po niya ha.
Therefore,
Sige.
it
Go.
will still perform
Sisikap ka,
combustion
kuya.
regardless if it smokes.
Abangan mo
liquid
sa
or not.
Facebook.
So
But-
therefore,
Okay.
The
Ang
after
pinaglalaban po
product-
niya,
and then
tama
using
lang
vape
po
is
mag-vape sa
still
loob
But-
ng FX.
No, but the after product is two different things.
But it's still
When you
the
do
same.
combustion, the after product will be smoke. But when you do vaping, the after product will be vapor. It's two different things.